To get started wrapping the warp fibers on our paper plate loom, you'll need a length of yarn, you'll need your painted plate, a stencil, and a Sharpie, and then some tape later. So do this part with a partner. So just get somebody at your table, have them hold the stencil down on top of your plate while you mark in these little notches, because if the plate moves or shifts at all, then our notches are going to get off and we may have too many or not enough. So just get a partner to help you and they can hold the plate and you mark the notches and then y'all switch. Now you'll be able to see where you have your marks all the way around. Now you're going to cut a slit. You don't want to cut any farther than this dip right here. You don't even have to cut that far, but definitely not past this, this lip of the plate. Once you have all your slits cut, then you can flip your plate over. Take your yarn. Slide it through any one of these notches. It doesn't matter which one we start with. And you want enough to tape on the back. Now we're ready to start wrapping. So once this is taped, flip your plate over. And we have an odd number of notches. So what we want to do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're going to go in the 10th slot. And then on the other side, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll have 9 open notches on this side and 10 open notches on this side. And we're going to pull the yarn this way. And we're going to go to the notch next door and slide it in. So it should look like this on the back. And we're going to cross it over, but we want to make the smallest X that we can possibly make. We don't want to go all the way over here and skip all of these notches, because that's not the smallest X. We want to go to the next available notch, slide it in, not too tight, because then your plate will start to do this. And then we always want to keep our extra yarn at the bottom. So once you notch it in the top, just rotate your plate around so that your extra is down here. And we're going to go to the next door neighbor slot, across like an X, rotate. Notch next door, X, rotate. Notch next door, X, rotate. All right, so now we should have a good bit of extra yarn and 1 notch left. We're going to notch it through. Then we're going to find the end. And we're going to start an over-under pattern. So we're going to go underneath this one. And then over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Once you've gotten back around to where you started, then we're gonna pull this tight. You may have to pull from this end because we have all this extra over here. And that tightens up the center for us. And you can keep using this color for a few more rounds. So it can be kind of difficult to see where you left off, but if you pull this out just a little bit, you kind of tug on this, you'll see which warp thread you left off on. So when I tug on this, I see that this one's pulling and I went underneath. So I'm gonna start with over. Before you pull it tight, you should be able to see the pattern of over, under, over, under, over, under. When you're ready to start on a new color, cut off any extra that you have, but make sure you leave a little bit of a tail so that we can tie a knot. Then you get your new piece of yarn. Match up the ends like this, then loop them around your finger. You should have a loop that looks like this. Then you slide those tails, both of them, through the loop so that they tie together like that. And if you want to trim off that extra, then you definitely can. And you just keep on weaving over, under, over, under. When you finish your weaving, it should look something like this. If you have enough time, you can go all the way out to the edge, or you can choose to stop somewhere in the middle. I will have some plastic bags cut for you. This is a biodegradable trash bag I had, so that's why it's green. And you use it just like yarn. It'll be in strips, so it feels a little bit different, but you do the same thing that you do with the yarn. Then when you're ready to completely finish your weaving, then leave a little bit of a tail, and you can pull out one row, so there's a little bit of a gap. Tuck that through that gap and then pull it tighter. You can tuck it around again if you need to. And then you're finished.